In order to survive, you gotta learn to adapt. Strive for the vision, build a life that's intact. A loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson, I'm blessed. T to the DP, got the world impressed. I was just playing the game, now I'm the coach. Dropping gems on the mic, lessons they quote. Modern dating's wild, but I'm cracking the code. From heartbreak to headlines, I'm running the show. Distinguished professor, name and lights. Game so strong, got him swiping right. TDP Podcast, wisdom refined. From the grind to the shine, now the future's aligned. Lurk. In order to survive, you gotta learn to adapt. Strive for the vision, build a life that's intact. A loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson, I'm blessed. T to the DP, got the world impressed. I was just playing the game, now I'm the coach. Dropping gems on the mic, lessons they quote. Modern dating's wild, but I'm cracking the code. From heartbreak to headlines, I'm running the show. We're distinguished professor, name and lights. Game so strong, got him swiping right. TDP Podcast, wisdom refined. From the grind to the shine, now the future's aligned. In order to survive, you gotta learn to adapt. Strive for the vision, build a life that's intact. A loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson, I'm blessed. T to the DP, got the world impressed. I was just playing the game, now I'm the coach. Dropping gems on the mic, lessons they quote. Modern dating's wild, but I'm cracking the code. From heartbreak to headlines, I'm running the show. A distinguished professor, name and lights. Game so strong, got him swiping right. TDP Podcast, wisdom refined. From the grind to the shine, now the future's aligned.
Streets whisper secrets in the night. Neon lights, my crown so bright. Steps echo power through the pave. City bows, I'm not a slave. Skyline tells my story loud. Concrete jungle feeling proud. Rise above the noise and smoke. Elevate the dream unprovoked. Walking with a lion's stride. Running this town side to side. Victory etched on every wall. Hear the city answer my call. From alleyways to tallest spire. Ambition fuels my inner fire. Every heartbeat syncs with drums. City's mine, outcome becomes. No retreat, no looking back. Dominate this urban track. Future's bright like morning sun. In these streets I'm number one. Power shifts, but I'm the king. In this chaos I still sing. Voices rise, streets come alive. Concrete jungle won't deprive. Walking with a lion's stride. Running this town side to side. dominate this urban track. Future's bright like morning sun. In these streets I'm number one. Power shifts but I'm the king. In this chaos I still sing. Voices rise, streets come alive. Concrete jungle won't deprive.
The distinguished professor, classes in session, turn chaos to clarity. Every show is a lesson. Blind baby, blind to the value you hold. Chasing after glitter but ignoring the gold. Dating in this world can be Ted BS. So man, keep your eyes open like CBS. To the DP, loves a degree. I'm the professor, come and study with me. From the club to the crib, build something real. We turn sparks to a flame, that's the deal. Loves a currency, spend it wise or go broke. Many chase the fire but can't handle the smoke. It's deeper than the flex or the likes on the gram. You need a partner who'll stay, not a flash in the pan. Ladies, raise your crown, don't settle for less. Find a king who'll invest, not just add to the stress. Men, value your worth, know the role you play. If she's blind to your light, don't get lost in the shade. Leverage in my pocket, power moves in my plan. Flip dynamics, now it's all in my hands. Modern love's a gamble, but the risk is the prize. When value meets vision, it's the bond that survives. To the DP, loves a degree. I'm the professor, come and study with me.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Distinguished Professor, to the TDP Pod. Hey, we have a special guest on. I'm going to go ahead and bring her up now. We're going to talk about a little bit of wealth, man. But as you guys know, before we get started, I got to start it off. Classes in session. What is going on? What is going on? We got Kirsten here. Let me bring her back. Give me 1 second. We got Kirsten here. What is going on, Kirsten? How you been?
Pretty good. How are you?
Hey, I am doing well, Glad to finally have you on. I know we've been trying to match our schedules up for it, man. Everything's been good, though?
Yeah, everything's good. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure, my pleasure. Now, have you been following these tariffs lately? What's going on with the tariffs?
I have. It's real crazy out there.
Yeah, I swear.
I'm kind of scared.
You kind of scared? Why is that?
Because it's just crazy. Too much going on.
Yeah. I swear Trump got back in office and eggs cost more than concert tickets.
I'm trying to go see Chris Brown, so I don't know.
Hey, it's either Chris Brown or your omelet. Which one you choosing?
Chris Brown.
You paying an extra $1,000 to be in backstage too, huh?
I don't like him that much, so no.
Mm-hmm. All right, you say that. Don't let us see your Instagram and be on there, you know, with Chris Brown holding you up.
I promise you won't see me doing that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, that's what's up. Yeah, I went to try to buy cereal the other day, and they asked for my credit score, so I was in trouble. I can't afford Chris Brown tickets.
You can't.
No. And then question: you have this going on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere? Because I'm getting some feedback. That's all.
I don't have anything pulled up, but
Okay.
your screen.
No biggie. All right. So Kirsten, you know, I'm gonna introduce you. You know, I know you've been in the financial industry for about 12 years now.
Yep, 12 plus years, correct.
Okay. Now what got you into it? What passionate figure or what helps you get into what you're doing?
Yeah, so when I was in school, of course, you know, finances is not really taught in school. So that was my passion that I really wanted to learn more about it when it came to finances and investing. So I started my career at Wells Fargo. I became a licensed professional with my Series 6 and 63, which allows me to teach about mutual funds and educate my clients. And I also have a life insurance certification, which allows me, of course, to sell life insurance. And just going throughout my career, I noticed that a lot of Black or African Americans did not know a lot about finances, and especially when it comes to investing. So it empowered me to go ahead and provide them that knowledge and progress in my career.
That's what's up. Now I read somewhere you've helped like an astronomical amount of people plan for retirement, right?
Correct. I've assisted a lot of people with just understanding what they're invested in. The education is really important. You have to know what you're invested in so that you can actually plan for the future.
Mhm.
You know, of course, after educating, then if they want to have those one-on-one sessions about just going into depth about the different funds, and I actually had those conversations as well.
Got you. Now you said you have your life insurance. I actually just got mine for North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Illinois,
Look at you.
and I'm waiting for a few to come back. So I know that you know it's not easy. So I can sell a little life insurance too.
Welcome to the team.
I'm trying to tell you. Now I ain't got no Series 6 and 63, but I got some life. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Now, Kirsten, where are you originally from?
I'm from Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. Now, did you go to USC? Go to South Carolina?
I didn't.
Where'd you
I went
go?
to Limestone University in Gaffney, South Carolina.
Okay. It's at the Saints, right?
You got it.
Okay, that's what's up. So you hold it down in the financial world. Okay, that's what's up. Y'all got a couple NFL players came out of there. I think they had a
We
couple
do.
in the NFL.
Now I don't know their names, but we do.
So y'all tackling people in retirement. I get it.
Help.
Okay.
Gotta be rich.
That's what's up. Well, let's go ahead and get into it now. Kirsten, I did read somewhere that Black buying power is something like $1.8 trillion. But it only stays in our community for like six hours. What's going on there?
We just don't know. We are not educated. I feel like if we have more knowledge about how powerful money is, then we'll be able to save and keep it around longer. But what I've noticed, and just growing up and being around all types of people, as soon as we get a couple of dollars, we're trying to spend it at the Gucci store, you know, Louis Vuitton. Like we're just spending our money, lashes, hair. You see, we're just spending it.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm just
We're not saving it. And then, of course, investing can be really complex. So when it comes to complexity and hard things, we don't take that initiative to just sit down and learn. Knowledge, knowledge, and
Yeah.
can't keep money in our pockets because we want to go shopping.
Yeah, I always call it peacocking. I think we try to peacock a lot, or peacock a lot, and then even back in the days, we tried to wear out what we called our Sunday's best. And so, I think a lot of that has perpetuated down the line to us, to this generation, to where now, like you said, we get a PPP loan or we get a little tax return. We're going to go spend it on a car real quick that we're going to finance, as opposed to just buying a car outright with that tax return money. Or we want to take a trip, especially when we got the STEMI money. we taking
Right.
trips as opposed to saving for a rainy day. So yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you said something about knowledge, and so let me ask you this: is it more of a knowledge gap or is it a money gap?
So if you, I mean, I guess it's both.
Okay.
You don't obtain the same amount of money as other cultures just because, you know, we're Black. So it's a little bit, harder for us to get those figures. So we do have um, a disadvantage that way, of course. But also, I feel like if the more that we know, the more that we take time to learn, then that disadvantage would go away because no one can be able. The more knowledge you know, the more powerful you are. So I feel like
Yeah.
if we knew more, we'll be able to take over everything, and money included.
Yeah, I mean, if you know better, you do better, right?
You do better, yeah, correct.
No, so now I know we got the internet out here. We got people like yourself, having these conversations with people. So is it that we're not taught it or we're just not listening?
That's a good question. I think it's both, because we have so many resources out here that you could utilize to learn more about finances, investing, your retirement plans. There's a lot of things out here, but I think because we don't know, and it could be that we don't know that it's out here, right? So if no one ever tells
Mhm.
you that it's out here, then you're not gonna just go look for it unless you're really passionate about finances, right?
Right.
So I feel like the resources are there.
Yeah. I mean, you got like World Street Trapper guys like that. And the thing is, or like we could find the latest Netflix show, we could find like Insecure show or whatever. We could find the newest show. We can talk about that, but we're not, or the latest TikTok dance, but we feel like when we talk about money, it's boring or we shouldn't be listening to it. So I think we have to get better at searching for those things and getting into it because, like you said, knowledge is power.
Yeah,
And
and that perspective is a little bit weird to me because we like to shop, we like to use it. So
yeah,
why not learn more about it? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, there's resources all out here regarding finances.
yeah, because I was listening to somebody the other day. They were talking about how, what did he say? How many black grocery stores are there? And I couldn't think of really one black grocery store. I mean, I know Compare Foods in Charlotte had like 4 or 5 locations. That's primarily for the Hispanic people. So what grocery stores are out there primarily for black people?
There's
Or,
none.
or we buy a lot of hair, right? We buy a lot of hair stuff.
We barely
Tyson's is
get
huge.
to it.
Tyson give me my check. But we don't have a black hair store.
No, we
Girl,
don't.
you don't want that one. That's we don't have a black hair store. We just work for the Asian people. So that's the issue I always had. Like we don't we don't invest in the things that we buy.
Yeah. And it goes back to not knowing not
Exactly.
how to
Yeah,
buy, invest in things of that nature.
exactly. No, that's wild. So you've been in the industry. So let's talk about uh some products that someone can look into to invest in. Like if I'm just starting off with zero, I just got my first job. I'm 24 or 22. What should I? And I, they sending me all this paperwork, IRA and Roth IRA and HSA. What should I start with? What should I do?
So I do want to start off by saying that I am licensed, but I cannot give you advice. I
I
can
ain't
only
none of that.
I can only educate you. So I can't really tell you what you should do, but this is just from my perspective. The easiest way to get started is by using your employer retirement account. Because 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a match within that plan.
Hmm.
Sometimes I've seen it going all up to 6%. So they'll match up to 6% if you were to remove those funds from your paycheck and place it into the retirement account. Now, when you place your funds in the retirement account, a lot of employers, they have this life cycle fund. And
Okay.
so when you start working, it's really aggressive because you're younger,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
when you start working, it's really aggressive. And as you get older and you get closer to retirement, that's when it becomes more conservative. So it starts saving the money that you have actually uh, put into that account over time. So I would say retirement plan is the fast and easiest way to get started when it comes to investing your funds. And it's because you don't have to see it when it comes out your paycheck. It automatically just out your paycheck, out of sight, right? Out of mind, out of sight. So you don't
Right.
see it and you don't know what's happening and it's just there and it's working for you while you're working. So that's good.
Okay.
When your money works for you is always a good thing.
So,
And
so go
secondly,
ahead. Mhm.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then secondly, if you don't work for like a corporation or have a 401k, but you do have earned income, you may want to look into like IRAs. For a younger generation, I suggest that you start with the Roth IRA, just because you're going ahead and paying for those taxes now, and then at retirement, you don't have to worry about that later, unless you earn funds on top of those funds that you place into your account, and then you would have to potentially pay taxes on the earned income if you take it out before age 59 and a half. I know that's a
Okay.
lot, but if you
No.
need me to go back, I can. But yeah, so Roth IRAs
So,
are good.
so if I'm 24, I gotta wait to 59 to get my money.
So any money that you've earned off of the money that you place in the account. Now you can always go in and put the money that you contribute to out of it at any time,
Okay.
and there's no penalties. But any money that you have earned and you're not 59 and a half on top of the funds that you place in there, then yes, you would have to wait. If not, you'll be penalized and have to pay additional taxes.
That's what's up. So let me ask you this then. Should I, I get flexible spending, so FSA, HSA, should I have PPO? So I've been told I should match out my HSA
Yeah.
to minimize my tax liability because it's gonna lower my tax threshold because it's technically lowering my income. So should someone max out the HSA, and then what's the most contribution I can give to the Roth? Should I max that out as well
Yeah. So
if possible?
the amount that you could put into, and I believe, don't quote me, I think 7,500.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's the
So,
amount
so
you
I
could do for the year.
so I put 7,500 my Roth, and then I can max out my HSAs. And so that potentially, now you're not giving tax advice, but that could potentially lower my earned income. I'm
But they should
assuming.
say yes.
Okay.
It doesn't
Okay.
do it as much with the Roth IRA.
Got you. And then you said you're paying taxes on that when you up front as opposed to on the back end. So when I pull it out at 59 and a half, I'm not paying taxes on that.
You got it.
Got you. So now a traditional IRA, is it reverse? It's going in tax free and coming out taxed.
Yes, you got it. So when I think about traditional IRA, I think about like leaving a company and I don't want to take that money just now and pay taxes on it. So like let's
Okay.
say I was working at Wells Fargo, for instance. I left Wells Fargo. I don't want my money in their 401k because I don't work there no more, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so in order for me not to be taxed immediately once I remove it from the account or the plan, then I could open up a IRA and just roll those funds over. I have 60 days once I leave the employer to do so. And so, the funds that you're putting into your employer sponsor plan are pre-tax funds. So you have not yet paid taxes on those.
Okay.
So when it's time for you to remove them from the IRA, and you can remove them before 59 and a half, but if you do so, you will be taxed. You'll be taxed
Got you.
for those
Okay.
funds. Now, when you turn 59 and a half in the IRA account, after you turn 59 and a half, then there's not as much or no taxes on those funds in the traditional IRA
Got
as
you.
well.
Okay.
59 and a half is the time frame that you should take the money from the plan without being
I gotta
penalized.
wait to 59 and a half to get my money out. Then I gotta wait to 65 to get my money from the Social Security. Good gracious. I gotta keep waiting for my
Yeah.
money.
Now, I do want to go back. You're still going to be taxed federal and state taxes, but you won't have that 10% penalty after 59 and
Okay.
a half. Yeah,
Got you. Okay. So it's a 10% penalty if I take it out before 59 and a half.
you got it. Yeah.
Oh man. Good gracious. They get it going and they get it coming. Can't keep
Yeah.
none of my money. All right. So let me ask you this then. What's one myth about money in the Black community that you would love to see retired?
That you have time to save. You don't have time to save. You need to start doing it now, as soon as possible. And that goes back to the retirement plan. Just because you're young and you think you have time to put the money into the retirement account, and you wait till you're like 45 to start. No, you only have about 15 more years left to save. Why not start when you're 20, 21? Start as soon as possible.
That's what's up. And I want to give a quick shout out to my boy GMT. Thanks for being out here, GMT. Hey, GMT says shout out to y'all. Much respect. He also says great information. So you're doing a good job there, Kirsty.
Thank you, DMT.
That's my boy GMT. Thanks for being out here, GMT. Okay. So let me ask you this. So did you learn? Do you learn more toward policy-based reform, cultural accountability, or personal finance behavior as the key to closing the wealth gap?
Say that for
Or
me.
do you lean more? Yeah, do you lean more toward policy-based reform, cultural accountability, or personal finance behavior as the key to closing our wealth gap in the Black community?
Yes, I believe all three play a big part, a role. But personal finance behavior is like the most immediate and actionable. While policy-based reform and cultural accountability, of course, sets the stage. Financial literacy and smart money habits empower the individual to like create lasting change for themselves and also their family. So I believe all three.
Now, the title of this is build wealth without waiting. And I know you talked about not having to wait. So, don't wait to start building your retirement tomorrow. I think the phrase goes, when's the best time to build? The best time to plant a tree was 100 years ago. The next best time is today. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Build wealth right now, right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
by building wealth, let me ask you this: do you save what is left after spending, or do you save before you start spending?
You say it again.
So should I save after I have done spending, or should I save before I start spending?
That's a good question.
I come with some good. I'm trying to tell you, I was
That's a good
prepared. I did my
question.
homework.
I really think you should so you should always pay yourself before you do other things like pay bills. In my opinion, you should just put some money aside before you start paying bills and also going shopping. So I pay yourself first before you spend.
Pay yourself.
Hey,
So I've heard that before. So I get my check. Let's say I get a $2,000 check every 2 weeks. So, but my rent, because I'm single, is $2,000, and I got to pay this car note that's $1,000. So what am I supposed to pay myself? I'm only making like $4,000 every 2 weeks. How am I supposed to pay myself?
you just gotta not think about it and just do it. Live below your means,
Okay.
not above.
Okay.
And I always pay myself at least 20% out of each check.
Okay. Now I've heard somewhere that you should have 3 bank accounts as a single person. You should have one for your monthly expenses, then another one for what you're saving for, and then another one for like entertainment.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe that you should you have at least, 3 to 6 months saved as far as like your bills are concerned.
Okay.
And then of course, you want to be able to put some money aside to go on vacation, and then just have money saved for like a rainy day.
Okay. And for some people, it's porn. So y'all need to get y'all lives together.
Exactly.
So how do you think we can shift in the Black community our mindset culturally without sounding elitist? Like, we don't want to sound too bougie.
Changing Black African American mindset is really hard.
Oh, I know. I do the relationship space. I know. Believe me, I know.
Once somebody is like the way of thinking, that's just the way that they're going to be. Unless I feel like it's a life experience that has to happen, like something has to happen for them to like shift their mind a different way. And I hate that that has to happen that way. Like I feel like we should just have that mindset that we need to save money, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Did I answer your question?
No, you did. It's unfortunate that we either taught incorrectly, or we don't see spaces like this where we're having this conversation about retirement, trying to build wealth, things of that sort. Because you're right, we do spend money on things we shouldn't be spending money on. Like we will not pay the rent to go to a concert. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying we pay rent not to go to a concert. Or pay. I'm not saying you go see Chris Breezy, but or we go see, we'll go finance this trip, or we'll go spend money in the club, but we know we have to pay certain obligations. And so there's a mindset shift that we need to have, as well as we'll go buy a car that we know we can't financially afford, but we'll make it work within our budget, but we fail to save for the future. So now when our kids are going off to school, they're having to get all these grants and student loans and things like that. So now they're putting themselves in debt. So we do have to have a mind shift change.
Yeah, and just to add to what I stated earlier, just having those conversations, again, going back to teaching and educating, making that conversation more relatable, practical, and judgment free. Like, you don't judge them, because you never know someone's circumstance or what they may be going through. But just having a conversation, and if someone feels like they are struggling with saving money, then maybe reach out to like a financial advisor at their banking location, and start there. Just because you're talking to an advisor doesn't mean you have to start investing big, but sometimes it's just a conversation that shifts the mindset, like not knowing that you could just put that little bit of money aside and it works for you. So yeah, just conversation.
Okay, and going off of that, save a little bit of money. Let's say you're behind. Let's say you're like 40 years old and you really haven't saved anything.
Yeah.
What should I do? What should be the first things I should be looking at doing, or what should I look at investing into, or where should I turn to get information so that when I'm 65, I have a little nut left over, so that I'm not depending on Social Security.
So that's a really tricky question. Again, I'm not going to be able to give you advice. I can just
Okay.
educate you. But when you're 40 years old, you're close to retirement. So you're thinking about a lot of things, right? You're thinking about how much money I should be putting away, what I should be invested in, and if I'm going to lose my money, right?
Right.
So again, going back to the financial advisor, discussing your finances, what you have available for your bills, what you're saving personally, and then what you like to put away to invest in so that you can have money in retirement, is a conversation that you would have with your financial advisor. But you may have that conversation with your financial advisor, like, should I be more aggressive or should I be more conservative, just based on my age? So that's something that you would have to weigh out based on like the current savings that you have. Maybe you have some real estate, something that could, if something was to happen with the money that you're putting away, that you'll be able to restore it. So that's a tricky situation. So that's why it's really important to go ahead and start as soon as you get into the workforce, so that you don't have to worry about catching up later.
Okay. So, and you said something about real estate. So, if so with real estate, I'm guessing. So should I continue to rent? Should I buy a house? Is the house really, even with the interest rates what they are, should I buy a house? Is that even a good investment? Because I hear different opinions. So what should I do? Should I go buy a house, or should I just continue to rent?
So it's perspective. If you have the means to buy a house and the savings to upkeep the house, and you're okay with today's market as far as the interest rate is concerned, it's not the lowest that it's ever been. You definitely got to have some money in the bank to be able to own a house. Do it. But if not, it's okay to rent. It's okay
Okay.
to rent. Just because everybody else is buying a house doesn't mean you have to. If you don't have the means to do it, there's no savings. You don't have a lot of money coming in. You don't really want to keep the upkeep of, or take care of the upkeep of the house. Renting, you have maintenance men that definitely do those things for you. Rent. You don't
Okay.
have
Okay. So if let's say I'm a black family, so it's a few of those out there, a couple of us. I'm a black family, and we're looking to build wealth in our family, but we don't have an inheritance. What are some steps as a family that that you can provide without giving information? But what steps should we start taking? A general steps should we start taking to start building that generational wealth or trying to build that generational wealth for our kids?
Yeah, so a family could take several steps by being proactive
Okay.
so that they can prepare and be comfortable and secure for their future without relying on inheritance. Like inheritance is really good to have, but it's not everything, right? So what
Hmm.
I would say is first create like a financial plan, budget, set your goals, build an emergency fund.
Okay.
And then once we have that established, then we could go ahead and start saving. You need to save, of course, and invest early. And again, that's like contributing to retirement accounts, IRAs, Roth IRAs, so that you can start investing for your future.
Okay.
And then having those conversations with your financial advisor often, once a quarter, can definitely educate you more, and also family members on money management. And then you want to also, once you start saving and you're having those conversations, you create a budget, set your goals. You want to be able to protect those assets. So you would do so by getting life insurance, health insurance, and creating an estate planning plan.
Okay.
And then you may want to start diversifying like your income
Okay.
by starting like a side hustle. We got Lyft, we got Uber,
Yep.
Instacart, DoorDash, and exploring the passive income options. And then once you and your family are in a better spot, or doing well for yourself, then start educating others in your family, not just your immediate family, but like your distant cousins, so that they can join the wave.
Hmm.
And that also builds like a stronger relationship with your family, and also supports like a networking kind of environment. So you guys can lean on each other if things were to go down, like help each other out. And then the last but not least, try to avoid debt. Debt is the what's bringing us down. Those high interest rates and unnecessary loans is what's not allowing us to prepare for our future. So try to avoid debt.
Okay. So make sure you said create a financial plan is first. So we need to
Hmm.
sit down with the family and create a financial plan. And then we need to start to save or have, with that financial plan, we need to start saving.
Right.
We're going to teach or go sit down with our financial advisor and get financial literacy so we better understand that piece.
Hmm.
Um, we need to, pretend like we had a Diddy party and protect our assets.
All day, every
Alleg-
day.
Allegedly, no baby oil.
No baby.
We need to we need to diversify our income.
Yeah.
Stocks, mutual funds, real estate, potentially side hustles, things of that sort.
Hmm.
We need to, we need to continue to build relationships and you said avoid debt.
Avoid the debt.
Okay, okay.
Leave it alone. It's not your
Say it
friend.
again. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
So should I pay off my credit cards at the end of each month? Because I
That's
ain't got it.
something who
Listen,
does on when you
listen,
pay your credit card.
because
So
my credit score don't allow me to get American Express, so I got to get Capital One and all them other ones, them bootleg ones.
Capital One is all right, but
I got
get
a janky. I got my janky credit card from Janky Bank. I'm just saying.
we're not here to judge. We're here to help educate and get you to the next level. Okay?
There we go. We try to level up.
Level up.
Try to level up these credit cards. Shoot,
But it really
mine
just
ain't
depends on when your statement ends, when you
okay.
should pay it.
They
But
send me paper credit cards. They don't even send me plastic ones. They just send me the paper ones. Like this here.
man, stop playing.
Your credit ain't good enough for us to see one on plastic. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So again, I'm in my 30s. So what financial decisions should people make in their 30s that make? Well, so what financial decisions do most people make in their 30s that haunts them in their 60s?
I'm in my 30s, so I'm just thinking about,
I know you old.
things that I be doing. So, um, what haunts you in your 60s based off the financial decisions that you do in your 30s? Is that what I
Mm-hmm.
heard? Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
many people in their 30s prioritize like immediate needs,
Okay.
lifestyles, upgrades, buying a house, traveling, um, and not saving towards retirement. So, the money that you are doing with those things, and um, and you're like neglecting putting money in your retirement account, could definitely get you behind in your 60s. So I'm not saying that it's not okay to do those things, because it is okay, right? You have to live your life. We're here to live, not die.
Mhm. Right.
So,
Right.
have fun, but do it in a way that you're able to still save for your retirement. And then we're also living above our means. We're not living below. Just
Yeah.
because Sarah got a bag last week don't mean Jenny need to get that same bag, because Jenny don't have the same money as Sarah. You know what I'm saying? Live within your means, and then your time will come, especially when you start saving. And then it goes back to investing early. Don't wait. You don't have time. Start early. Um, Invest in those stocks, those bonds, um, your IRAs, your Roth accounts, and then compound interest will grow for you. You don't have to worry about anything later because you started early.
Now, what is compound interest?
So basically, you're just compounding your interest. Like, it's just growing for you. You put your money away, you're not touching it. The
Mhm.
interest rate is just the money is working for you. So you're compounding over the years.
So you're putting your money to work.
Putting your money to work.
I like that. I like that. I can't have no lazy money sitting around. I need my money to go work. Do everything to have a 9 to 5.
Get a job, okay?
That part. So I know you said we need to start investing early, and something that may haunt you in your 60s. So because of what I do on these YouTubian streets, as my friend Kit would say, how so 33% of men are married, 27% of women are married in our community. Would us being married make it easier for us to save money?
Yeah, I feel like being married and having that two income potentially.
Are we
Yeah.
doing 50-50? We 50-50. That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
well, okay,
Well,
so
see,
having
I do. She had to get it there.
no. I mean, we could be ain't nothing wrong with 50-50 because I'm gonna help my man out. You hear me? So
Okay.
it's nothing wrong with 50-50, but to be do it the smart way, you may want to have someone that pays all the bills, right? And then you have someone that's putting money aside and investing.
See what she just said there? What she said without saying it was this. You should have a man paying all the bills while
No, I
I'm
didn't say that.
while I'm the lady is going to invest our money. So when it's time for our divorce, unfortunately,
No.
I'll have my
I didn't say that.
investments and you'll have nothing. So sorry.
Well, if you're a team, you shouldn't be thinking like that. You should not be thinking like that if you right?
You should be, but they, in reality.
But no, I really think that marriage could be like a powerful like wealth building tool. Like it just depends on the partnership of marriage and what type of marriage you do have.
Okay.
Some ways that it can help you is, of course, having that dual income, shared
Mhm.
expenses.
Mhm.
When you are working together and your money and your income is together, you have tax benefits, you have
Yep.
joint planning. You also have access to better benefits being married. So it's kind of better being with someone than without someone. And then also, like when you're going through things and you don't have any money today and you need your man today to help you, it's emotional and financial support. You both are there to help each other, right?
No, we're not talking about no man. We ain't talking about no 10-year relationship. We ain't talking about no situationship. We're talking about putting a ring on that thing.
We
Because
talking
if you
about
like it,
marriage. We're talking about people
you
that
would have
are
put a ring on it.
together and ain't going
Yes.
nowhere. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Yes.
putting a ring on that thing. We ain't talking about it long-term engagement either. We talk about marriage.
Now, being married could be a powerful thing when it comes to money, but it also could be a bad thing.
Well, you ain't supposed to be unequally yoked with people who gamble their money.
Yeah, so you have to watch out for things like that. Like have those conversations early, right? You see
Okay.
something that ain't right, red flag, make sure you talk about it right then because debt from one partner could definitely take you out. Okay? You're
Okay.
out of here.
So, well, let me ask you this then. We're talking about debt from one partner because I know Warren Buffett, I believe, said it. Some other people have said it. Own nothing and control everything. So, meaning that if I don't own anything, like everything's in trust or in LLCs, then how am I going to financially bring you down? Like if let's say I owe back taxes, and we bought a house together. and we sold that house, potentially that house is going, the taxes are going to go back to the government from the proceeds. But because I don't technically own it, should that, is that a way to keep
There's
that?
always loopholes around everything.
Okay. I'm just trying to hide all my money from Uncle Sam. Sorry, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, but I can't give you tax advice, and I can't tell you those loopholes.
See,
But there are loopholes around everything. I mean, why not do everything the right way though? I mean, not saying that you can't do it through LLC and your trust, right? You can.
Okay.
But you made the debt. Why not pay it?
For what? I ain't paying Uncle Sam. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pay Uncle Sam. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that's an example.
Yeah.
So, I know you do life insurance. So I've heard this thing going around the internet called the Rockefeller method. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not.
Okay, so the Rockefeller method, from how I gathered, is I guess the Rockefellers, John D. Rockefeller did irrevocable life insurance trust.
Oh, the brothers, yeah.
Yeah, so he did an irrevocable life insurance trust. So he took out, let's say, $1 million policy on himself, and then when he passes away, that the proceeds or the death benefits of that life insurance policy go to pay for life insurance policies for his grandkids. And then when his kids pass away, well, I say his grandkids can borrow off of that policy, the cash value of that policy. And then when their parents die, the parents passing pays that policy back. So I guess basically instead of having to go to the bank for any kind of money, they can just borrow against that life insurance policy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I've heard of it, but I just don't have enough information to talk about it. But yeah, I gotta look into that.
Yeah. So I think it's like the Rockefeller method or something. And again, just to break it down for my third grade level level kids out there.
Terms,
people,
please.
Yeah, Leroy's terms. Basically, you get a policy. The policy pays for policies on your grandkids. The grandkids can borrow against that policy, and then when their parents pass away, their parents' policy pays off the original policy, and it just keeps going down the line. So that when they go to the bank, so when they need money, like for a house loan, or they need money for school, or they need money to start a business, instead of having to go to the bank and get an interest, they just borrow against that life insurance. You just keep borrowing against life insurance, so you never have to go to the bank. But life insurance is a very powerful tool, which is why they didn't allow us to have life insurance back in the day. We can only have final expense insurance, so only to cover the burial, because they didn't want us to pass down that wealth to our families. So you had that, and then you had redlining. So there's certain things that was put in place that kept us from passing down wealth. So definitely look into life insurance as a way to build that generational wealth.
Yes.
I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I just said you can take with a grain of salt. Do your own information. This is my disclosure, because I did say the Holiday Inn Express last night, but I am not a financial advisor. So, but going back to marriage, so marriage, I believe, still is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
That we need to get back. I think I read somewhere as well. I think I sent it to GMT that married men make way more money than single men, and married women make more money than single women. And that was an eye-opening fact that married men make a lot more money.
You agree with that?
I do agree with that, because
they may not make a lot more money. They have a lot more opportunity to save because it's two people helping them out. But not to toot my own horn, I make.
Don't nobody care what you make. Okay.
Okay.
What you make? What you make? We listen.
I can't tell you how much I make. I can't tell you how much I make, but I would say that
I'm gonna pull this to Kevin Samuels. You making a higher than 6 figures? I'm messing with you, but no. Okay, so you make a couple dollars. I'm listening.
And there's some married women that don't, which is nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's a good analogy.
So it says Married couples tend to accumulate significantly more wealth than their unmarried counterparts. A
Yes.
study highlighted by the Institute for Family Studies reported that white married Americans have more than twice the wealth, approximately 750,000 of their unmarried peers, about 300,000. Among Black Americans, married individuals have more than 3 times the wealth of their unmarried peers, approximately 230,000 compared to 65,000. And that came from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis and the Institute of Family Studies.
I agree with that, but not the individually like how much they make.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying salary. I'm just saying they have more money.
Okay. You're talking about saving. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying they have more money. Yeah, I mean, we make more money than the women anyway, so it's cool. I mean, I get it. So, I mean, you don't want to go down that road. You don't want to do that. I'm a numbers
That's
guy.
probably for another show though, like another podcast. Maybe we can go back and
Yeah,
talk about
we just do. I mean, generally
we don't have to
speaking,
talk about
yes.
it right now because I want to like you today.
You want to like me today? You
I
want to
wanna
like me
like
every
you.
day. We're just trying to get people married. We're just trying to say it's better to couple together.
It is better to come together.
Yeah, we need to
Two
come
is
together.
better than one.
I'm trying to tell you. So 50-50 works.
It does.
Is what-
It's nothing
is what-
wrong with 50-50. I'm down with 50-50. I feel like, and I'm probably going to get canceled after I say this, but 50-50, women don't want to do 50-50 just because they don't have it.
They don't have their 50%.
They don't have their 50%.
So that's why they want to know what I bring to the table, because they ain't bringing nothing to the table.
You got to find you some different type of women. And I
Ooh.
mean, ASAP.
I can't find a woman at the club with the neck tattoo.
If that's what you like.
I mean, in the BBL.
Man, I see some stuff about BBLs. Maybe that's another show. That is
another show. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to find a wife, that's all. I was trying to figure out where I need to locate her, but no.
You need to go to church.
I went to church. Those are the worst ones. They definitely ain't got their money. They giving it all to God.
Well, you gonna get it back.
The preacher rich and they po. I don't get that.
I should have added that to your to the process of saving and earning more money, tithing. Give your money to God.
So we need to add that to the process of saving.
Yeah, that should actually be number one. You should be giving 10%.
Okay. What if I'm not religious? See?
I don't know what to say because I'm religious. I don't know what you do when you're not.
Okay. So should I give it to charity?
Yeah, give it to somebody that need it.
Yeah, I gave it to her. I'm helping pay for her college tuition. As long as she stay on that pole, I'll keep giving her.
Oh my goodness! What am I gonna do with you?
I don't know, but I know what charity did. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Oh man. So let me ask you this: what's a glamorized financial habit that's actually destructive?
Destructive. So if we talk about finances and we talk about investment, then I would say prioritizing high risk investments for the sake of fast money or instant wealth.
Okay.
Now that can be tempting because of course you're chasing like big returns. So they say the higher the risk, the more money you make, which is a good approach. It does potentially allow you to gain a lot of money, but it's also leads to a significant like financial loss, and there's no stability in that. And when you think about building wealth, you think about being steady, and you want to have like a well-planned investment plan in place, and that allows you to be able to save. And the slower it goes for you, the better it is because you're not losing as much.
So you're saying sort of avoid the get rich quick schemes that are out there.
Right. What's the saying? The turtle wins. Or was
I don't know the turtle. I know the turtle. Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady. Yeah, that's what it is. Slow and steady wins the race.
See, I always thought they were talking about something else, but anyway, that's a different show. I gotta get my life back on track. You don't want to stay at church. Okay, yeah. So looking out for the fast money is probably what we need to stay away from. The get rich quick schemes, things of that sort.
Those pyramids that they be doing, you put 500 and you go to the top and you get 1,000, 50,000. Leave those alone.
Oh man, those are terrible. Like you give me $1, you get $2 back. I remember that. Like, what the heck is this
Yeah,
crap?
like what is that?
Yeah, I never understood that. Cause I know that came across like four links came across. I never looked into a lot of those. I mean, I looked into them, but they didn't make sense. So like, stay out of the multi-level marketing type schemes. You're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
find a real job.
Okay, but ain't no real jobs out here. I'm not making. So let's say I'm making 40 grand a year, right? Um, should I get a second job so I can have more money to save, or should I just live off that 40 grand?
Living
Try to
below
make that work.
or at your means. If you're living
Okay,
below 40 grand, then you'll be able to save.
okay. So, and I know we were talking about marriage a little bit earlier, and I know I read somewhere that the two-parent household has significantly more wealth to pass down, and it said something like married couples build 77% more wealth than single counterparts. Do you agree with that?
It just depends on your parents' money habits. If you have
Okay.
parents who have great money habits, then yes, they could put some things away for you so that you can have that first car, so you can go to college without having debt. But it all goes back to being educated and knowing financial literacy. If your parents don't know that, then they're not going to be able to know how to save or know how to invest. Use their retirement account or life insurance as an investment tool for later on. So it just depends.
And I'm not a big Dave Ramsey fan, but I know he said something like live like no one else now, so you can live like no one else later. He says stay small, stay consistent.
Stay small,
So
stay consistent. Yeah.
So and this is to the audience, real quick. If you got a pen and paper, if not, rewind this. So and correct me if I'm wrong. The Roth IRA is tax-free withdrawals in retirement, and it's great for younger savers. 401k maximize employers matches first. HSA triple tax benefits can act as an extra retirement account.
Mhm.
Custodial Roth IRAs for kids start early and grow it tax-free. Whole life insurance. So that was talking about the Rockefeller play. Build cash value, borrow against it tax free, and use it to fund trust. So those are some things. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Again, I'm just giving information that you can readily research. Do not take anything that I had to say as your financial advice. I'm not responsible for any losses that you may gain in or outside of the market of life insurance. So just make sure I put that out there again, because I ain't
Just
trying to
go
have
back
nobody
to
come see me.
right. Nobody showed up to my door. But just to go back to the HSA, I feel like you said it a lot today and we didn't really touch base on it. But HSA is a health savings account that your
Mhm.
employer allows you to put money away while working into a health retirement account so that when you retire, you have those funds for doctor visits, etc. Now, you could always use them while you're still working. It's still available for you. You can go to CVS and buy medicine, and it's a tax advantage for you. You don't have to pay taxes on that. Those once you use the card at CVS. But yeah, it's a good tool to start with now, so that you don't have to worry about those expenses later during retirement when it comes to going to the doctor.
Got you. Okay. Now I'm gonna start winding down. Is there anything that you think we need to hear about and know about, especially the Black community?
Yeah, so one thing we didn't touch base on is wills. I feel like a will is very important when it comes to making sure that your loved ones know exactly how to distribute your assets once you're no longer here. And you can do that by going to a financial advisor. They can go ahead and get that set up for you, or a lawyer. So when that time does come, there's no fighting and you don't have to worry about probate and things of that nature. Everything is listed of how you would like your assets to be distributed to your future generation. So make sure you take care of that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Wills. So should I also have trust as well? Should I put my property in trust?
Yeah, trust is a good. So I don't really go down the trust field, but what I do
Can't
know
trust
that
her. Can't trust her. I mess with you.
trust trust is a good avenue when you're talking about like taxes and things of that nature. So yeah, it's there. Utilize it. But
Okay.
go to your financial advisor to learn more.
Go to your financial advisor, learn more. And you should get a good lawyer to drop that will. You shouldn't be doing it on like GoDaddy or something, right? Like some
Yeah,
website.
get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Okay. Okay. Should I get my woman to sign a prenup?
You are really off topic today.
No, I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to figure out how to save money in the Black community. So I need the prenup. I need to keep all my funds. I should tell you I'm off topic. This is my show.
It's not what we discussed.
Can't be off topic on my show.
Um, yeah, get that stuff that you were able to achieve before you got married. You should be able to protect it. So yes, make
Okay.
sure she signs that prenup.
I'm putting everything in my mama's name anyway. It's okay. She did that to me when I was a kid, so I'm gonna do it to her when she get older.
That's insane. It's
But
crazy.
no, so we need to have a will. Okay. Anything else we need to think about now? Is there anything like Black churches, HBCUs can do to help close that financial wealth gap, or to teach us more about financial literacy? Is there more that Black churches and HBCUs can do?
Yeah, I feel like more workshops, seminars should go on regarding financial literacy. They already not allowing us to talk about it as much in school. So we need to utilize our community to do so. That's the only way that we're going to be able to get on top and stay on top is education.
Okay. Okay. All right. So anything else you got out there for us, Kirsten?
No, that's all I have. Thank
Well,
you
I got
for inviting me.
no. Well, I ain't done. I
Oh,
got what I call rapid fire. So this is my segment called legacy or liability. So I have a few questions to ask you, and you just tell me whether it's a legacy play or a liability trap.
let's go.
You ready?
Being ready.
All right. Well, if you start ready, you ain't gotta
You
you
ain't
ain't
gotta
gotta
get
get
ready.
ready.
No, if you're ready, you know where I go.
Yeah, something like that. A $50,000 wedding, legacy or liability trap?
That's great because I just had this conversation with my friend yesterday, and she was saying that somebody had paid $30,000 for a wedding. I'm like, 30,000 is not that bad for a wedding. Like, that's actually a good number. But 50,000,
I
I
mean,
said I
why are we
wouldn't
paying
go.
30 grand to get married? I mean, what we trying to do? Who we trying to impress?
So you
$30,000?
have to think about the dress. The dress is like 5 to 10, right? 5 to 10,000.
Goodwill got wedding dress sales for people who didn't get married. So next,
This is a really special day, so it really doesn't matter. Like my dress
so
got to be top tier.
we're gonna spend 30K then go live in an apartment?
No, we're already gonna have the house.
Oh, so we
The
bought a
house
house
is,
together before we got married?
I mean, it's possible.
Mm, that's a different show. I ain't gonna talk
Okay,
about it.
so just the way that you're putting it now, I think that 50,000 is a liability. If we want to be smart with our money, it's a liability. Okay, it's not a
A
legacy.
lot of money. 50,000. It's a half 100,000. Oh, okay. Okay. Leasing a car, like a Mercedes, BMW, something foreign. Leasing a car. Yeah, with them tariffs, I'm trying to tell you. I don't know if you want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that right now.
But leasing
Um,
a vehicle.
it's all liability.
Liability. Okay. Custodial Roth IRA.
Legacy.
Okay. Crypto.
Liability. Unless you like to take that, if you like to take that, what's the word I'm trying to say? Risk. Go ahead and do it. But I'm
Okay.
leaving crypto alone.
Okay. Okay. Saving versus investing.
So I'm trying not to get too deep with that because it just depends. It's perspective, right? Like if you don't have the debt, then you're able to save and you're able to invest. So you can actually do both.
Well, I mean, you're religious, right? I mean, you believe in the Bible, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how about the man with the talents? Well, one man buried him in the ground, aka saving, and another man went out and multiplied them, investing. So I'm saying, wouldn't one be better than the other?
Yeah. Okay. So if we want to put it that way, then investing is wait. You can't give me two at one time though. Like, so investing is legacy.
Okay,
Saving is legacy too.
okay. Family trust.
Family trust could be needed depending on your situation. So it's a legacy.
Buying a second home before you buy your first.
How's that possible?
Well, you buy like, okay, buying a vacation home before you buy your main home.
Like you're buying a vacation home before buying like your main home.
Yep.
Why would you ever do that?
Listen, man, I'm just here to ask questions. I don't know.
Liability.
Okay. But I have the question, but I'm gonna ask it two different ways. Having kids before you're married.
You're really trying to get me canceled for real.
70% of our kids are born to unwed mothers. So
I would never want to say that a
liability.
kid is liability. I don't ever want to say it don't matter. It don't matter the situation. Kids are legacies.
Okay. Right. Liability. I'll say it. I say what she's. I'm saying what she was scared to say. Liability. Okay. Having kids without a will or life insurance.
You're not leaving any legacy to them, so that's a liability.
Okay.
You need to have life insurance and a will. You need to be prepared for your kids once you're out of here. So have those at least those two things, please.
Okay. Taking out student loans for your kids.
Like putting in a parent's name or kid's
Yeah,
name.
like you're taking out a loan so your kid can go to school, go to college.
It's a liability. I feel like once you have kids, and I know it can be hard just depending on financial situations, you should start saving money, investing money for your kids as soon as possible, just like you do for yourself. So that when that time does come, it's time to buy a car, they're trying to go to school, you don't have to worry about taking out additional funds and being in more debt because you saved.
So while we're on that real quick, so should parents look at 529 plans? You tell what a
Yes.
529 plan is?
Yeah, so 529s is a plan that you put money aside for your kids. When they turn 18, they can use those for tuition, anything that deals with school. And I
Okay.
think it can even go towards like clothes and cell phones. Don't quote me, but I think it's just whatever the kid needs while in school, you can use that from your 529 plan. So start putting the money in that plan, let it work for you, invest it, don't touch it, keep it there. You don't have to worry about anything when 18 comes.
There you go. So let me ask you this then. So owning Section 8 property, is that a legacy or a
Oh my
liability?
gosh,
Owning
where
Section
is this
8
from?
property or owning rental property, is that a legacy or a liability?
So rental property could be a liability because you could potentially not get that money from your leaseholder or your lease person who's living in the home. But then when you think about Section 8, it's paid by the government, so you're always gonna get paid, right? Am I thinking about it right?
Yeah. I mean, so the government's gonna make sure you get paid. In addition to that, if they mess up your house anyway, the government's gonna pay for it, and they're gonna potentially ruin their opportunity to get another Section 8 voucher.
Yeah, so I think that Section 8, owning Section 8 is a legacy. And then maybe having rental property, just depending on who is staying in your home and paying your rent and paying your mortgage for you, it could be potentially a liability because they may stop paying or they may not pay. And then you have to take care of those expenses. So
That is true. And one thing I'll say that no one really talks about, and if you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can use those Section 8 vouchers as income. So when you look to go buy a house, if you're making, let's say, 20 grand, your Section 8 vouchers for let's say $2,000, so it's actually 24,000. That actually adds that $24,000 to your income. So you'll be able to qualify for more of a house than you would on your regular income. So you can use those Section 8 vouchers as a way to get to go buy a house.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. In addition, that you can also do the first time home buyers program multiple times. So if you buy a townhome and want to buy a single family house,
Yeah.
you still qualify for the first time home buyers program. So some people don't know that as either. But again, do your own research. Don't listen to a guy on YouTube.
He knows something, but not a lot.
Yeah, just know a little bit. I stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night. Let's see. All right. Well, that's all I had for a little fun game. A rapid fire, a little legacy versus liability.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool game. I like it.
Well, Kirsten, any final words?
The only thing I would say is start investing early. Put your money away now. Don't wait till it's too late. Yeah, let's get to work. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. So we didn't just talk about money. We talked about making moves. We talked about building the way people need to build and creating a legacy for not only this generation, but for the next generation. Kirsten, I want to thank you again for coming. I appreciate you. Maybe I'll have you on again. Maybe we'll do another live or maybe a tape segment or something like that. Maybe we'll talk some more about this. We can talk about some modern relationships and dating.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll stay
We
with me
could
before we end.
dig into a specific product next time. Like maybe the retirement plan or IRA.
Okay, that works. We could definitely dig into that. So if you're out there, you have any questions, y'all have. Oh, I didn't put that out. Let me put my banner right here. Y'all can hit me up, send me an email if y'all want to hear us talk about a specific product or retirement plan. We definitely would love to get on top of that. Do you have any workshops, functions, anything coming up? Anything you're doing personally?
So right now I do not have anything planned. I'm actually trying to revamp everything.
Okay.
But once I do, I'll let you know so that you can let your audience know.
Perfect. Now, how can people get in touch with you if they want to use a financial planner? They want to get more information that you couldn't provide today on this podcast. How can they get in touch with you? How can they reach you?
You can reach me at my email, kirsten.ks.sutton@gmail.com. Kirsten is spelled KIRSTEN, and my last name is Sutton, so SUTTON @gmail.com.
Y'all got it. Kirsten Sutton. So that's her name. Look her up. Send her some business. Support Black business. Make sure she takes care of you. Because again, guys, we're about legacy over luxury. So that's what we're here about, and we want, I don't think it's systemic while we're in the situation we're in. We cause a lot of the issues that we have going on in our community ourselves, and there's a way out. And Kirsten's trying to show you guys that way out. So appreciate everyone that's here to rock with it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Care about you guys. Appreciate everyone out here. But class is dismissed.